Dr. Abdul Basit moved to group 1. I'll take Mayad, unsure of the name, to group 1. Dr. Nora. And Dr. Ahmed Al Fawzan join group 1. I'm assigning them to group 1. Dr. Asma and Dr. Iman go to group 2. Focus on rooms with 3 points for group 2. Dr. Asmahan to group 2. Dr. Afnan to group 3. It's a distribution process. I'm creating and distributing groups. Group 3, group 2, group 1 are here to create groups. Now, as a coordinator, I'm taking her to group 1. I'll go to Dr. Asma and take her to group 2. For Dr. Iman, I'll take her to group 2 as well. You're distributing, but you come to the room that only has 3 points and distribute to group 2. Here is Dr. Asmahan, and I'll take her to group 2. Then I'll go to Dr. Afnan and take her to group 3, and so on. What you're doing is a distribution process. I'll show less here to reduce the number so you can see with me. I've been creating groups and distributing them. Group 3 is here, group 2 is here, group 1 is here. The distribution is mine. Why am I distributing this way? To create groups. Now, as a coordinator, I can take myself and put myself in the group I want to join. Show less, just to reduce the number so you can see with me. So what happened now? I've been creating groups and distributing them. Group 3 is here, group 2 is here, group 1 is here. The distribution is in my hands now. Why am I distributing like this? To create groups. Now, as a coordinator, I take myself like this, and what do? And I put myself in the group that I want to be independent with. I come here and show everyone. Here again, where am I? Checking my name, it was here. Dr. Asmahan to group 2. Dr. Ajlan to group 1. Dr. Amal in groups 3 and 2. Dr. Intisar in group 1. If I press start, group 2 we have, for example, Dr. Asmahan will put her in group 2. Dr. Ajlan will go to group 1. We'll start distributing a bit now. Dr. Amal is in group 3 as well. And Dr. Amal is also in group 2. Dr. Intisar is in group 1. I'm just distributing and reducing because now I've created groups. Just check my name. As a coordinator, I'm coming in now. And I want to put myself in the group that I want to join. I'm in group 2. I'll add myself to it. I'll start discussing with them without the other groups hearing us. That's the idea of the groups. You create the groups and add them. You come from here, from the 3 dots, Dr. Ayman, or you created the groups and send them to, for example, group 4 or group 3. I'm in the group and I'll add myself to it. I'll start discussing with them without the other groups hearing us. That's the idea of the topic. So the other groups won't hear us. That's the concept of the groups, or the break, or the props. It's a very simple concept, really. If you come here and create groups and add the addition, how? If you come from here, from the 3 dots, Dr. Ayman, or you create the groups, for example, group 4, group 3, or group 3 in, but with a card I have on the internet, you come to me, Dr. Tagreed, and you come to the 3 dots. The problem is with the card I have here. Lag on my end. Here's Dr. Tagreed. Device is slow, groups distributed. Now in group 2, want to go to group 3 or 4. I'll click start. Click start, disconnect from group. In group 2, can disconnect. Is this clear? This is creating groups. Form groups, distribute people. Device slow, don't want to. The groups were distributed, and then I started to say, where do I put myself? I am now in group 2. I want to go as a coordinator, and from there I will go to group 3 or 4. Okay? And then I will do the beginning here. When I do the beginning, we will separate with the group I am in. I am now in group 2. I can separate with group 2 without any problem. This part that you are clear or understand is called the part that I create. The whole idea is simply to create groups and distribute people into those groups. I just need you all to pay attention to this specific part, which is that my device is a bit slow and I don't want to. When it comes to breakout groups, remember, as a facilitator, I must be present in the group. For the group to function independently, I need to be there. I press the start button. I will be independent with group 2. Other groups remain unchanged. When I return, I want these groups intact. I click the 3 dots to move to group 3. Then press home to be independent with group 3. Dr. Fatima finds it useful for the judging panel's uniqueness. I can be independent with a group, but my concern is returning after pressing start and finishing. The other groups will stay. To ensure groups remain when I return to group 2, I click the 3 dots to move to group 3. Press home to be independent with group 3. Dr. Fatima finds breakout groups useful for unique judging and discussion. I can be independent with a group, press start, and finish the session, but my concern is returning. Returning is the issue. You'll see an arrow for the previous panel. Find an arrow to go back easily. When organizing, you'll see end and pause. Pause means so. Regarding breakout groups, what are breakout groups? Dr. Fatima says they are useful for the uniqueness of the judging panel and the discussion. Right now, I can indeed be independent with a group, but my only concern is one thing, as I mentioned to you. I can be independent now. Press the start button and finish the session. But how do I return? That's the issue of returning. You'll find, as you see, that arrow, which is the previous panel. You'll find an arrow like this, and you can go back easily, no problem. And when you enter the group and organize, you'll see a word that says end and another that says pause. Pause means, just to clarify for you more, that I can also do it from outside this section that I will show you now. I can do it from outside this section that I will show you now. I'm going to cancel this here, okay? I'm going to do something else to make it clearer. You can see this part more clearly from here. I'm going to create an available session. Okay, I'm going to log in with some dummy students. Let me log in with some dummy students. I just hope my device doesn't have any issues and feels like it can't work with me. It's a bit slow and the device is lagging. I don't know. This is the first time this has happened to me. So I hope everything goes well. I'm going to show you right now, but it seems like the internet is not helping me. I'm currently logging in. I'm going to enter the virtual classroom, opened for trial. I want to show you during a break. Here, I can join the session. I can also enter from here into the session and join. So, this is the trial session. Because I want to show you, when there was a break with students, the session was called an available session. I entered an available session and joined, and from here I entered an available session and joined. I am now entering with 2 students, but in a trial way. This is an available session. This is the joining. So, right now, this session is supposed to be the trial session. Sorry, I don't know if you can hear the sound or not, but I apologize because my device really has some issues.